When I started the day trading, I didn't actually know what a bid-ask spread was, and I didn't understand what a bear market or bull market meant. But one thing I knew for sure was that in trading, there was actually money in trading. That I understood for sure. And that made me realize that all I needed if I was ever going to succeed in trading was education and a lot of education. Hello, my name is Ike Chukwugwede, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 4 books that helped me in trading. All right, first thing, I'd like you to like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Now let's get to it. Most successful traders out there, pretty much anyone that you would see, even those on YouTube, got there by a combination of 2 things. The first is the books they've read, and the second is their time in the charts. And this you cannot really take away. I quickly realized that when I started trading, I knew that I needed a lot of education. That was clear to me. And over the years, I've actually read so many trading books. I have gone through so many strategies, and I have even developed few strategies of my own. Out of all these books that I have read, I have found 4 books that really changed a lot for me when it comes to trading. The first book is Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets by John J. Murphy. This was the very first book that I read on technical analysis, and I would actually say most traders you see out there probably have read this book. And the very first time that I read this book, I did not understand it. I had to read it the second time, and that was when it started making a little sense. That was after the second time. I think this book is more suited for new traders. And if you are a new trader, you probably want to start from this book. And it talks more about things like trend lines, support and resistance, and general stuff like that. Things that you need to know in technical analysis. For me, when I read this book, it opened my eyes to all the tools of technical analysis, and I'm actually happy that I read this book. And if you are a new trader, you probably want to start from this book. I highly recommend this book. The second book on the lineup is Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns by Thomas Bulkowski. It is a huge book, but I really actually enjoyed reading it, and I think that the author did a good job on the book. The author of the book, I believe, is also a trader. As the name of the book suggests, the book talks pretty much about chart patterns, the various chart patterns you can possibly think of. When I read this book, I felt like the book was geared towards swing traders. And at the time that I read this book, I wasn't really interested in swing trading. I was more interested in opening a trade the same day and closing a trade that same day. Some chart patterns can take about a week, a month, or even years to develop. And at that time, I didn't have enough time to wait. I didn't have the patience to wait. But one thing that I got away from this book is that it opened my eyes to the possibilities of trading. And with that, I think that this book is worth reading. Though, in my opinion, as I have mentioned previously, I think this book is more or would be more beneficial to swing traders, even though day traders can use it. But I think it's more suited for swing traders. If you're planning to hold trades for weeks, then this book might actually be what you need. The next book on the lineup is Japanese Candlestick Charting Techniques by Steve Nisson. Now, this book is a must read. If you are a new trader or have been trading for a while and haven't read this book, you should read this book. Personally, for me, this book was a game changer because it taught me how to look at charts. And because of this book, I only use candlestick charting and nothing else. This is probably one of the best book out there, hands down. If you only read and followed what's in this book, you will be profitable, no doubt. From my experience though, price does not always follow what the theory in the book says. And that is the only caveat. Now, if you ask me, I think this book is totally worth every single penny. And I highly recommend it for traders. The next book on the lineup is Options as a Strategic Investment by Lawrence McMillan. Now, options is not for everyone. And with options, you can actually lose a lot of your money very, very, very quickly. I do not recommend options for new traders. If you're new into trading, just start off with the other books and then at some point come back to options. That is how I did it myself. I started out with other things, such as other the books I've mentioned. I started out trading stocks before I actually got into options. With this book, I got to learn about the various option strategies for income generation and also for speculation. And I think with this book, the author did a good job. It is a long book, but it is worth reading. The next book on the lineup is Elliott Wave Principle by Frost and Pretcher. Elliott Wave Theory or Elliott Wave Principle for me is single-handedly the most significant tool, the most significant technical analysis tool for me, and that I have found very, 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 very useful. As a matter of fact, it is mostly what I use when I am looking at chat for the long term. Now, when I first read this book, I didn't get what they were talking about. And I had to read it a couple of times and I still couldn't get it. So I thought I had to go read from the source itself, who is the Elliott. And also, I have to go read some other materials from other authors before I could actually understand what Elliott Wave Principle is all about. With Elliott Wave, I found that the ability of one to make money from it depends on correctly interpreting the waves. And this is a very hard thing to do, which is why I think most people don't use it. But it is a very powerful tool when it comes to the stock market and trading in general. That's it. If there was anything that was worth anything for me personally, it was the Elliott Wave Principle. I can tell you that for sure, especially for the long term. Books alone may not make you profitable. Books alone may not make you money. I've said this before, and that is why I think you have to consider the second aspect of it, which is time in the chat. And I've mentioned this previously. I myself, even after having read all this book, spend a great deal of my time just watching the chats. That is the practical aspect of it. By doing it again, you fail, you do it again, you fail, you do it again. That is the way you got to learn more. That is the way you get more from all these books. In addition to the books, there are also a great many deal of great traders out here on YouTube. Trading is not easy, but with consistency and adjustment, you would definitely get there for sure. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. My name is Ikechukwu, and see you on the next one.